Wagwan, Wagwan, Conscious Creators. Hope you guys are doing amazing. For those of you guys who don't know who I am, my name is Rajay. I'm the founder of Raw Consciousness. Um, Man, it's kind of cool. It's a little bit cool out here, but I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm happy. I'll bear the cold so I can build with you guys a little bit. So for those of you who had checked out my previous video that I uploaded last week Sunday, um, that was speaking about discerning or being able to identify whether you or not you're living a life in accordance with spirit or with your ego, right? And obviously there's a distinction between the two. For if you weren't already aware, you know what I mean. But in this video, I thought I'd just continue on from that into speaking about how it is that you can go about staying in tune with spirit. Because at the end of the day, for each and every single one of us, that should really be the goal of our life. It's not just about our selfish or individual desires to have what we want when we want, etc. I'm not in agreement with say that being the main goal of our life, right? There's much more to our life on a spiritual level that needs to be fulfilled and that needs to be understood and fulfilled throughout this lifetime, because I believe that we're all here for our own respective purpose, right? So having said all of that, right? Ah, I think it's very important that we really understand that when it comes down to spirituality, right, it's a very individual journey, right? Um, it's kind of like how you look at every like right now I'm outside and stuff, right, in nature, my favorite place, and I'm around so many trees, so many different plants, and all these different things, and it's like you might be looking outside and you're looking at, say, you're around a bunch of mango trees, for example, and they're all the same mango, but all those mango trees, if they're the same mango, right? But they all grew up in their own different ways. Their branches grew differently. They'll have signature patterns or signature attributes that are similar, but how they grew in terms of whether a branch go to the left, right, wherever, how many leaves, it's all different. The journey is different. So I'm saying that to say that spirituality is very dynamic. And it really takes one, it really takes a lot. And it's important that one takes the time and give that effort to really go deeper into um, that sense of self, or what that actually entails, so that you can really understand what it is that your unique expression of that looks like. But without having to dig too deep into that side, I want to bring it back to the whole idea now of how spirituality, how living a life of spirituality connects with um, the God-minded aspect of your life, which I had spoken a little bit about, and this whole idea of you know tapping into a higher state of consciousness, and stuff like that. So I know these might be terms, phrases that, as I had said previously, might not be so commonly spoke about. I'm Jamaican, so therefore for Jamaican people who are watching this, you might not really be tapping into this stuff, but like I said too, we're getting to a point in this lifetime where a lot of information that was once hidden is now being brought to light. And when I say hidden, I mean from the standpoint that there's a lot of historical information, a lot of practices, a lot of um as they call it, esoteric information that has been kept away from humanity to for whatever purpose. I won't really speculate on anything. But what I will say is that a lot of this information that has been hidden is now being brought forth to be more commonly known and teach, or taught rather, amongst the general population. And this is very important because what it means is that as an individual, you now have to really spend time to tap into what is really happening, not just focus on only your day-to-day responsibilities and going to job and this that, but if you're seeking to grow and you're seeking to learn much more than what is on the surface, which I highly encourage you to do, then it'll become a lot more easier for you to see the greater meaning towards and in your life, right? So as it pertains to staying in line with spirit, it would then mean that you're going to have to elevate yourself a sense of awareness, which then aligns with consciousness. Consciousness, in terms of the definition from this context, would have to do with one's state of awareness, one's awareness with respect to not just what is external of you, but what is internal, that is that which is within. Um, how would I put it? So, like, say, let's say, religious wise, say in Christianity, it is spoken about having the Holy Spirit, having the Spirit dwelling within you, right? So, in order for you to really be able to appreciate that um, statement, then you have to understand that there is something residing in you that is not material. And in order for you to be able to um, understand and align with that, it would therefore mean that you're going to have to do things that allow you to tap into your inner self, the inner spirit, right? The God centered side of your being. It's not just about what is external of you, it's not just about what you can feel and touch and smell and taste and all these different things. That is just the external, that is just how we interpret and relate to the external reality. So it therefore becomes important that you spend time to build your inner sense, which has to do with how you tap into the spiritual side of your experience, and also with how you elevate your state of consciousness to be able to be more self-aware towards the God consciousness, towards your God-centered state, right? Because you're not separate from God and you're not separate from the divine. There is just one consciousness, and God resides in all of creation. You get what I'm saying? So and kind of giving that background to all of that, which I know is might be a lot, but just bear with me. Um, what is going to be important, or a practice that is very important for you to undertake, is that of meditating. I know many people hear of the practice, and it's kind of like, all right, mm, so it's something I might do, but I don't really see the significance of it. But I urge and encourage you, if you are looking to dig deeper into life to get a greater understanding of life and of yourself, which in understanding yourself deeper, it gives you a much more transcendent understanding of life, you're going to have to meditate, right? And why I'm saying that is because meditation is a means of you being able to make and maintain contact with the spirit that is within you. So that is with that inner self that lies within. And so the more that you meditate, the more that you disconnect from the external and tap into the internal. Notice that when you put yourself in a comfortable place, right? um you relax your mind, you become aware of your breathing, etc. You don't really worry about the thoughts, because the thoughts are not necessarily yours to worry about. Allow your thoughts to flow accordingly. Once you're in that state, that very blissful, peaceful, calm, relaxed state allows you to raise your level of awareness to the point where there is a connection, or a greater level of connection, between you and God, you and the divine that is within you. On the contrast, when you are now, like more conscious in that, no, maybe not more conscious. Open your eyes and back to the normal. Back to the usual day to day. Thing. You're responding through your external senses, right? When I say external, I mean like through the five senses, right? So therefore, your contact with the inner is going to be more distracted because you're focusing on what is external of yourself. So that is why I am advocating for you to recognize the significance that you have to harness or develop the ability to become more sensitive to your inner side versus just focusing a lot more on the outer side. And in doing that, I can assure you that you will get more in tune with your intuition, which is a part of that God mind, which is a part of that um, unified state of consciousness, right? Because again, it's one web, it's one consciousness. It's all interconnected. You get what I'm saying? So in really focusing on the practice of meditation, and there are other practices also, but I think in building on this conversation with you guys, um, I'd love to focus on meditation because that's something that I think everybody can very easily do, and it's not something that you have to feel like, excuse me, that you have to be like adept at, or you have to be like, you know what I mean, you're tapping into some deep stuff. Nah, it's everything is done by degrees, by levels. You know what I mean? You it's one step at a time. There's no need to have this grandiose expectation versus understanding that you have a purpose and there's a way for you to achieve that purpose, and all you do is begin executing, even if it's 5 minutes per day, 10 minutes per day, whatever time you can allot to doing meditation. I highly encourage that you begin. You start today. Don't make no excuse. Make it a habit, and make it a part of your daily routine. For example, for myself, two of the best times for me to meditate is when I first wake up and before falling asleep in the nighttime. Um, and for you in beginning, it doesn't have to be a rigid thing, but you can definitely, whether it's when you wake up or throughout your day, you just set aside a time to just say, let me just sit down and just relax my mind for a second, not focus on anything that is outside of me, not focus on the sounds that I'm hearing, but just focus on my breath, just inhaling, exhaling, and just continue that process, build on that process, just build on that sequence, and you just focus on that for a few minutes. It will do wonders for you. I promise you, it will do wonders for you. So, um, I'm trusting that you guys are getting, some value from what I'm saying. And again, the reason why I'm advocating for you to meditate is if you're if you are someone who is trying to really get in tune with yourself and you're lost and you don't understand like what it is really that I am supposed to be doing with my life, what is it that is happening, you know um to me right now, and how can I find more answers? The answer never lies outside of yourself. That is rule number one. All that you're seeking, all that you need is already inside of you, and that is facts, right? That's not being made up, and it's not even something that I have to prove. You can do your own research and figure that out for yourself. You get what I'm saying? But um, I want you to understand that everything that you need to have is it resides within. So the greater effort you spend with, like I was saying, enhancing your ability to recognize that inner side more, and the intuitiveness that you have, and those things, then the more clear things will become for you and less confusing. Because at this point, I feel like a lot of people are relying or depending on what they might see on social media, or all these other things that are really more of a distraction. If something is forcing you to go outside of yourself, then it's not the way. The way requires that it's like you hear this common adage about know thyself. You never said no somebody over there, so no somebody over there, or no your name. Nah. It says know yourself. So it means that you have to face yourself, right? You have to be the person looking in the mirror facing you and understanding yourself, so that you can then have a better life, so that you can therefore live a life of purpose, of meaning, that brings you the fulfillment that only you can provide for yourself. Nobody else can provide that for you. Mommy, daddy, sister, brother, husband, wife, cousin, second, third, fourth, it doesn't matter. It's not going to come from anything or anyone external of you. It is what is already residing within you, and you have to get comfortable with that conversation with yourself, right? And as you become, as I said, become more and more comfortable with having that conversation with your inner self through meditation, through grounding, through affirmations, all these different things that kind of allow you to curb yourself in that way. I won't necessarily say the easier it's gonna get. I won't say that, but you will feel a more you'll feel more grounded. You'll feel more rooted within yourself. You'll feel more at peace. You'll have it will probably allow for a greater level of understanding to what's happening in your life because you'll get more clarity towards things. And I think that that is very important. And I'm speaking to you in this way because of what I myself have been through. It's not because of I'm making things up to kind of you know push this information to you, to force you to think a certain. No, I've been on my own journey for many years, and I've been observing many things that have happened and are happening in my life. And I can assure you that it definitely helps with creating a state of balance for you. Um, Separate from the like health benefits that meditation has, like I'm not even talking about that stuff, but specifically with helping you to align with um, your more spiritual way of life or the spirit that is within you. Yeah, man, meditation is a goal. It's definitely a goal. It I, it's like it's hard to even put in words, but it's like it's definitely an amazing experience to really become comfortable with that process. And like I said, it's not something that you have to like. It's not that it's you don't need to make it complicated. You don't need to make it like you need this, that, and it. No, just all my encouragement to you is just start, right? Just start. And it's funny because once you start meditating, then it allows you to even better be able to recognize when you're in a state of um the ego state, you know what I mean? When it's more personality driven, you know what I mean, versus being in accordance with spirit, which is more intuitively driven. And I know I say personality driven and ego driven. You have to understand that you as a person, the how you're relating to the external environment is an accumulation of memory, accumulation of circumstances, habits that have accrued over many years of your life. That is what has created your personality, separate from other influences that we can go into at a different time. But you have to understand how those different processes have created the person that you are today. And that's why I'm saying it's important for you to go within, because in going within, you're going to see how those different traits, how things from the past might even pop up during the process to then help you to be able to heal, to be able to better understand certain things that might be happening in your life. It's like all an unfolding, but it starts with you, going within. You get what I'm saying? It starts with you guys going within and becoming a conscious creator, isn't me? So, because when I say conscious creator, it's all about awareness, it's all about you tapping into a higher state of being, so that you can be creating your reality. That's why I use it. I describe you guys as conscious creators because that's the state that you want to get to on a conscious level, that is you're aware of what you're creating and not just falling prey to what other influences or influencers are causing you to feel or do or think and all of that stuff. But you yourself are consciously making decisions for yourself on a day-to-day basis. That is very important. And it's going to be the only way that as a people united globally that we can create certain shifts um, for the world. It's not just about following celebrity and popular people and this. Nah, brother, it's not all about that. Of course you have people who are pushing positive messages, so I mean, kudos to them. But you also want to become adept as an individual, because you're for one blessed to be here and to be having this experience. So you need to take full advantage of being here and having life, no matter what is happening in your life, no matter how negative you feel about what is happening. You have to move beyond that phase. And it might be tough, but I promise you, once you start once you start grooming yourself for um being able to tap into your intuition more consciously, and um to read situations better about yourself, about others, it'll help you a lot. Okay, so I know I've been babbling a lot. I know that that was a lot, but you know, if you watch this video, if you have watched this video to its to the end, I truly truly appreciate you. You know what I mean? This is my expression from my own purpose, because my purpose is aligned with um attaining and understanding higher spiritual truths to be able to relay that to you. That is a part of my journey, right? And so doing this is like the most fulfilling thing that I can do. So I give thanks to be able to communicate and relay what is within me to you guys based on my personal experience, right? So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Again, if you guys haven't yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe, like the video, share the video if you found it valuable. But again, I give thanks. I give thanks and I express my sincere love and gratitude to each and every single one of you for tuning in. More and more content will come out. Bigger things will eventually start manifesting. And I claim that, and I claim that for you too. So start believing, um, start meditating, and get ready to become a conscious creator. All right. So blessings, guys. One love.